Hi, I'm William Mills here at Finovate in San Francisco with my friend Stephen Ramirez, CEO Beyond the Arc. How you doing, Stephen?
William, always a pleasure, doing well.
Great to see you here at Finovate. You know, I was reading that according to Financial Technology Partners, fintech venture capital investments have doubled in the past year to almost $54 billion. What do you think that means to the technology that we're seeing here today?
You know, I think that when banks look at some of the ways that they want to engage with customers, that it's largely beyond their current capabilities, right? They just can't act the way that they'd like to. A lot of those things can be powered by technology, and they can get to market a lot quicker if they can purchase that technology or if they can license that technology. All of that leads to partnerships, and all that leads to a real demand for the startup companies that can provide it. So it makes sense to me that there's a lot of money flowing into it because there's a lot of need by the banks to make it happen.
So you think that's why fintech is the hottest sector in terms of venture capital?
I think it is. I think that the need is probably so pronounced, like it's so clear that the banking industry needs to change. And I think that banks, William, after 10 years of talking about this, banks now see it too. And so I think that is driving I think that they're open, and now that capital and those startups are really starting to happen.
Well, over the 2 days of demos, we're well into day 2 of the demos. What companies have stuck out in your mind here at FinovateSpring?
Is it only 2 days? It seems like day 20 here at Finovate, as it often is.
Just a few more days.
Oh, okay. You know, I'm seeing a couple of things. Well, let's start with what we're not seeing. Not a lot of conversation about the blockchain.
Right.
I don't think I've heard a single mention of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies,
Which was really hot 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Things that were totally hot are not even in existence. You know, what I think that we're seeing now are sort of smarter applications around authentication, around security. There were several demos and some great presentations about hacking into bank systems and what you can do to prevent against it. So it seems like some of those core needs, like cybersecurity, that's one of the things that really seems to be, I see that constant theme.
Well, moving forward in the next couple of years, what do you think the top 2 or 3 trends are going to be for both financial institutions and the fintechs that serve them?
You know, we've been talking now for years about the age of the customer, right? And trying to be more customer focused. And finally, I think that message has really hit home. And so now, but that's not enough. Now it's like table stakes. Now every bank has got a customer initiative to try to be more centered around customers. So how do you raise the game? I think it's trying to move from selling them products or worrying about your pricing to creating entirely new experiences that get into how are you trying to live your life? What can we do to empower you from a financial perspective? How can we think about your financial wellness? I think that those are the trends that we're going to see, and I think it's banks trying to just really take action on those trends.
From what I can tell on the consumer side of banking, it's almost as much about the technology as it is about the banking. It's like who's got the best experience, who's got the best app. And I think that we're continuing to see that in the States. Definitely, I think, bigger in the UK, in the EU.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely, some of the international challenger banks are really revolutionizing what a bank really can be. But I think that here we're getting spoiled, right? Uber, Amazon, Apple, they've they've let us see what a seamless customer experience can be. And I think that you expect that at your bank. And there's not very many banks. My bank doesn't provide it. I don't know about yours. And I think that is really the opportunity. And it's hard, right? That's the challenge. Banks have legacy systems. Banks have compliance and risk. Banks have sort of legacy brick and mortar. So how do you sort of tie all that together for the future of customer experience? I don't think that's an easy one.
I agree. Well, I appreciate your time. And again, this is William Mills with Stephen Ramirez here at FinovateSpring in San Francisco.